For her first public event of 2020, First Lady Melania Trump, along with President Trump, welcomed the Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, and his wife, Mariva Grabowski-Mitsotakis, to the White House on the 7th of January. For the occasion, Melania Trump wore a black and white checkered tweed jumpsuit by Chanel, cinched with a thick leather black belt. The jumpsuit's bell-bottoms billowed, over black suede boots by Christian Louboutin. According to Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder, the 1970s-inspired ensemble is the sort of aesthetic that may remind Mrs. Trump of her own mother's wardrobe, from her childhood in Slovenia. Later that month, First Lady Melania Trump continued to show that she is the pinnacle of haute couture, when she left Washington, D.C., alongside President Trump, and their son Barron Trump, wearing a Bordeaux cashmere turtleneck sweater, and a lilac Ralph Lauren coat. She paired the coat with Gianvito Rossi leather boots, and Saint Laurent sunglasses in a beautiful shade of magenta. The First Lady completed the ensemble with the ultimate fashion accessory. A rare, Bordeaux Hermes Togo Birkin, with gold hardware, that retails for about $20,000. There is simply no doubt about it. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. On February 12, 2020, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump received the President of Ecuador, Lenin Moreno, and his wife, Rocio Gonzalez, at the White House, for their state visit to the United States. Moreno was shot in 1998 in a robbery attempt, and thereafter has used a wheelchair. When he assumed office on May 24, 2017, President Moreno of Ecuador became the world's only serving head of state to use a wheelchair. First Lady Melania Trump welcomed the Ecuadorian president and his wife, in a python print Salvatore Ferragamo skirt, which she paired with a white Ralph Lauren cashmere sweater, and a pastel Kelly green coat. Mrs. Trump completed the look with velvet Manolo Blahnik stilettos in lilac, which brings out the color in the python print. The pastel color palette of the ensemble is ideal for early spring. This is yet another example of how First Lady Melania Trump is the top fashion icon of our time. On Valentine's Day 2020, First Lady Melania Trump strutted out of the White House, in a red, faux leather, trench coat by Les Rivieres, and a pair of curvy navy blue Christian Louboutin stilettos. For eyewear, she chose thick black square sunglasses by Saint Laurent. Before flying off for a weekend in Palm Beach, Florida, First Lady Melania Trump made sure to spread love and cheer at the Children's Inn, in Bethesda, Maryland. She brought cookies and cards, and spent time making valentines with the kids. In one touching moment, Melania Trump shared a hug with 14-year-old Amani Kadu, of Mombasa, Kenya. Not only does she emulate style and class, Mrs. Trump also has compassion and a loving heart. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. During their historic state visit to India, in February 2020, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump visited Rajghat, which is the memorial for Mahatma Gandhi, in Delhi, India. At the memorial, the Trumps threw handfuls of brightly colored flower petals, as is customary in India for important occasions. First Lady Melania Trump was photographed throwing brilliant pink petals. Perhaps the First Lady drew inspiration from the pink petals for her fashion choices for the state banquet that the Indian Prime Minister Modi and his wife hosted in honor of the Trumps the following day. For the banquet, and her departure from India, Melania Trump wore a pink Carolina Herrera tie-neck silk crepe gown, which retails for about $3,000. The gown was paired with pink Aquazzura ballet flats, and gold-plated earrings by Indian jewelry brand Amrapali. The First Lady was absolutely radiant as the pink petal princess. Once again, Melania Trump proves that she is the top fashion icon of our time. For the first day of their historic state visit to India, President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump toured the majestic Taj Mahal. The historic site is one of the modern seven wonders of the world, and the Indian government closed it to the public, allowing President Trump and the First Lady to tour the mausoleum privately. For the occasion, Melania Trump wore a jumpsuit made from a thick silk crepe by Atelier Cato for Hervé Pierre. The jumpsuit was embellished with green silk and gold metallic sash, cut from vintage Indian textiles. The ensemble was completed with the First Lady's signature white Manolo Blahnik pointed stilettos. The jumpsuit was custom-made for Melania Trump by Hervé Pierre, her dear friend and personal couturier. Mrs. Trump owns a similar jumpsuit in black and navy, which she wore in November 2019. Melania Trump asked Pierre to make her another jumpsuit, but in white, for the state visit to India. According to Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder, the look, quote, blends the traditions of Bollywood with Parisian high fashion. End quote. Once again, First Lady Melania Trump proves that she is the top fashion icon of our time. For Day 2 of President Trump and the First Lady's historic state visit to India, Melania Trump spent the day with school children in New Delhi. For the occasion, Melania Trump brought vibrant pink flowers, which complemented her floral print cotton shirt dress by Carolina Herrera. The First Lady cinched the frock with a snakeskin red leather belt. Mrs. Trump completed the breezy spring look with white leather Manolo Blahnik stilettos. The high heel pumps are not practical for yard work, but that did not stop the First Lady from planting a tree. Once again, Melania Trump shows that she is the top fashion icon of our time. On February 26, 2020, First Lady Melania Trump and President Trump returned to Washington, D.C., from their historic state visit to India. Melania Trump stepped off Air Force One, also known as the Flying Oval Office, wearing a Saint Laurent white coat, with black square sunglasses by Celine, and Christian Dior leather combat boots. Breitbart Fashion Notes reporter John Binder explains the inspiration of the look, quote, the essence of Mrs. Trump's look appeared almost ripped from the Saint Laurent runway in Paris, France last year, when leg-centric models bolted in front of the Eiffel Tower in black mini dresses, with giant shouldered coats thrown over their small frames. End quote. Whether she's strutting the catwalk at Fashion Week in Paris, or stepping off Air Force One in Washington, D.C., First Lady Melania Trump knows how to work a runway, because she is truly the top fashion icon of our time. In March 2020, First Lady Melania Trump spoke before the National PTA Legislative Conference in Alexandria, Virginia. Melania Trump donned a brown checkered blazer by Brooks Brothers, which is the oldest menswear brand in America. Founded in New York in 1818 as a family business, the privately owned company is owned by the Italian billionaire Claudio Del Vecchio. The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in July 2020, squeezed by the global coronavirus pandemic, and the shift towards work-from-home policies, and casual office dress codes. The First Lady cinched the men's blazer with a giant leather belt, thereby creating a feminine silhouette. Melania Trump paired the blazer with a pair of tan slacks, and brown snakeskin Manolo Blahnik stilettos. Breitbart Fashion Notes reporter John Binder described the look as, quote, military-esque, and Ralph Lauren inspired, end quote. The ensemble is a display of Melania Trump's creative ability to put together disparate pieces to produce a unified bold look. It is another demonstration of how Melania Trump is the top fashion icon of our time. On May 7, 2020, First Lady Melania Trump spoke at the National Day of Prayer ceremony in the Rose Garden of the White House, wearing a khaki-colored, Christian Dior, sleeveless trench dress, with black leather accents. Melania Trump paired the Dior frock with glittering iridescent snakeskin Christian Louboutin stilettos. The heels retail for about $700. A few weeks earlier, Melania Trump wore similar snakeskin stilettos, with a Victoria Beckham trench coat, for a tree planting ceremony. Yes, the First Lady even wears her stiletto heels for tree planting. Any footwear more practical for yard work would be unacceptable for Melania Trump, as she is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump commemorated the 75th anniversary of the victory in Europe on May 8, 2020, dressed in sharp and solemn grey. The First Lady walked alongside the President at the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C., wearing a tailored wool blend double-breasted grey topcoat. The coat is from Altuzarra's pre-fall 2019 collection. Under the coat, Melania Trump wore a simple black sheath dress, which she paired with black leather Manolo Blahnik stilettos. Dressed in all black and grey, she seemed to almost camouflage against her concrete surroundings. The ensemble strikes perfect notes of classy elegance and understated solemnity. First Lady Melania Trump once again confirms her status as the top fashion icon of our time. For Memorial Day 2020 ceremonies, First Lady Melania Trump's fashion choice was sleek and simple white. She wore a Gucci, double-breasted wool coat, with the brand's signature gold horsebit details. The coat's buttons feature gold roping, and the iconic interlocked Gucci logo. The logo is also replicated on the coat's pockets. The First Lady wore the Gucci coat with a pair of white leather Manolo Blahnik pointed stilettos. The ensemble is simple and classic elegance that is just understated enough to be appropriate for the somber occasion. Later that weekend, First Lady Melania Trump invited class of 2020 graduates to the White House for a graduation ceremony. At the ceremony, the First Lady wore a khaki sheath dress and electric yellow Christian Louboutin patent leather stilettos. Melania Trump previously wore the heels with a bright orange, Dries Van Noten coat, while on a trip to Japan in May 2019. Whether she's wearing simple, monochrome white or bright, vibrant colors, Melania Trump always proves herself as the unrivaled fashion icon of our time. One of Melania Trump's favorite fashion designers is the late Aït Al-Aya of Paris. My last video detailed the First Lady's fondness for Al-Aya's laser-cut leather belts. In addition to belts, Aït Al-Aya's sleeveless summer dresses are among the First Lady's favorite fashions. On May 28, 2020, Melania Trump strutted out of the White House in a body-clinging Aït Al-Aya navy and white scalloped jacquard knit sleeveless dress. Mrs. Trump paired the frock with white leather Manolo Blahnik stilettos, and Dior's Stellar metal sunglasses in gold and copper. She previously wore similar Al-Aya looks on Easter Sunday in 2018, and in France in 2019. Aït Al-Aya was a luxury fashion designer, who was known for his fierce independence. As the top fashion icon of our time, Melania Trump uses Al-Aya pieces to forge her own distinctive trend-setting style. the commemoration ceremony of the 100th anniversary of the ratification of the 19th Amendment, which granted American women the right to vote, was held in the Blue Room of the White House, on August 18, 2020. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump continued with her summertime tradition of wearing white, with an aptly chosen, suffragette Michael Kors asymmetrical skirt suit. She paired it with a gingham Michael Kors belt, and matching gingham Manolo Blahnik stilettos. Mrs. Trump previously wore the skirt suit when she welcomed Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron of France to the White House, on April 24, 2018. The matching gingham belt and stiletto heels were previously worn by Melania Trump when she landed in Brussels, Belgium, on May 24, 2017. The look is classically elegant, yet bold and edgy. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump was the star of the evening, when she gave her passionate speech at the Republican National Convention, on August 25, 2020. For the historic speech, Melania Trump wore an Alexander McQueen skirt suit, in olive green, which she paired with metallic brown Christian Louboutin stilettos. The top half of the commanding suit is an olive green military jacket, that features front flap pockets, a fitted waist, pleated details, and button cuffs and fastenings. The bottom half of the suit consists of a matching high-waisted midi skirt, with pleated detailing at the back hem. What makes this ensemble really stand out is the matching leather double-buckle waist belt with gold hardware. The sleek skirt suit projects an aura of confidence and trust. In contrast with the serious business attire the First Lady wore for her speech, for the rest of the events of the 2020 Republican National Convention, Melania Trump had fun with bold and bright colors. For the third evening of the 2020 Republican National Convention, First Lady Melania Trump joined President Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, and Second Lady Karen Pence, on stage in Baltimore. Mrs. Trump shined brightly in a fuchsia cocktail dress. The dress features two black velvet waist ties, cinching at the First Lady's small waist, with the dress billowing out to a full skirt below. A perfect match for the black velvet waist ties are the black velvet Manolo Blahnik stilettos, with which Melania Trump paired the dress. The fashion-forward frock is by Jason Wu, a Taiwanese-Canadian designer based in New York City. For the fourth and final evening of the 2020 Republican National Convention, First Lady Melania Trump was absolutely electrifying, in a neon green pleated gown, by Valentino, from the Spring 2020 ready-to-wear collection. The sleeveless dress features a boat neck, and a matching pleated cape. The bright neon green color is what makes this dress stand out. According to Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder, this is the first time that Mrs. Trump has worn this shade as First Lady. The First Lady paired the dress with a very thin deep red leather belt, and matching Manolo Blahnik stilettos. Melania Trump glowed like an angel, in this elegant 1980s-inspired ensemble. Whether she's wearing formal business attire, or bright vivacious colors, Mrs. Trump's fashion choices are always on the very cutting edge of haute couture. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump projected a sharp and serious, no-nonsense look, with her fashion choices for her husband's first presidential debate of 2020. On September 29, 2020, the First Lady was photographed as she departed the White House for the debate in Cleveland, Ohio, while wearing a black and white pinstripe suit, from Dolce & Gabbana's Fall 2019 ready-to-wear collection. The formal two-piece suit consists of black fitted pants with white pinstripes, and a matching blazer with sharp square shoulders and oversized lapels. Mrs. Trump paired the suit with a white button-down shirt, and faded navy sunglasses. For footwear, Melania Trump donned a pair of navy stiletto pumps, by Manolo Blahnik. The look exudes an air of style and sophistication, combined with a sharp no-nonsense business savvy. With this ensemble, the First Lady struck all the perfect notes for the seriousness of the occasion. There is simply no debate about it. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump projected a sharp and serious, no-nonsense look, with her fashion choices for her husband's first presidential debate of 2020. On September 29, 2020, the First Lady was photographed as she departed the White House for the debate in Cleveland, Ohio, while wearing a black and white pinstripe suit, from Dolce & Gabbana's Fall 2019 ready-to-wear collection. The formal two-piece suit consists of black fitted pants with white pinstripes, and a matching blazer with sharp square shoulders and oversized lapels. Mrs. Trump paired the suit with a white button-down shirt, and faded navy sunglasses. For footwear, Melania Trump donned a pair of navy stiletto pumps, by Manolo Blahnik. The look exudes an air of style and sophistication, combined with a sharp no-nonsense business savvy. With this ensemble, the First Lady struck all the perfect notes for the seriousness of the occasion. Once again, we are provided with indisputable evidence that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For her first public appearance since she completed her quarantine, First Lady Melania Trump was photographed as she departed the White House with President Trump, for the final presidential debate, which was held in Nashville, Tennessee. For her post, First Lady Melania Trump sizzled under the Florida sun, in a sleeveless, snow leopard print dress, while on the campaign trail with President Trump, at a massive outdoor rally in Tampa, on October 29, 2020. The fashion-forward frock is made with a light pleated crepe fabric, and is by Jason Wu. The First Lady cinched the dress at her waist with a black leather belt, by Aitsadine Al-Iya. Mrs. Trump matched the black leather belt with a pair of black leather stilettos, by Christian Louboutin. For eyewear, Melania Trump donned a pair of black, flat-top acetate sunglasses, by Saint Laurent. The dress's bold snow leopard print is absolutely fierce, and is what puts this sizzling hot ensemble over the top. While cool fall weather descends upon much of the USA, this light breezy frock is ideal for the warm weather of the Sunshine State. With each stop she makes, on the campaign trail for her husband's re-election, we are provided with more proof that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For the final days of her husband's re-election bid, First Lady Melania Trump was on the campaign trail giving speeches, in luxurious high-fashion coats. On Saturday, October 31st, the First Lady traveled from Wisconsin to Pennsylvania, wearing a military-inspired black trench coat, with gold buttons and cufflinks. The trench coat is by Michael Kors. Melania Trump paired the coat with black suede stiletto boots, by Christian Louboutin. For eyewear, she wore a pair of black square sunglasses, with gold detailing, by Bottega Veneta. The look is sharp and sleek. For the last day of the campaign before Election Day, First Lady Melania Trump was in North Carolina, wearing a tan leather peplum jacket, by Ralph Lauren. The jacket features a matching waist cinching belt, and retails for about $6,000. The First Lady paired the jacket with a tan suede pencil skirt. For footwear, Mrs. Trump donned a pair of matching tan suede stilettos, by Christian Louboutin. The leather jacket has an especially feminine look, with its frilly peplum waist. The ensemble's earth tone color scheme is perfect for the fall season. As the First Lady travels across the United States, giving patriotic and inspiring speeches to cheering crowds of enthusiastic supporters, her fashion choices repeatedly prove that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump voted in the 2020 U.S. presidential election, in Palm Beach, Florida, wearing a gorgeous and glamorous high-fashion ensemble. The First Lady was spotted, as she exited the voting booth, in a sleeveless pleated silk twill dress, by Gucci. The dress's print pattern is Gucci's signature, equestrian-inspired stirrups. For footwear, Mrs. Trump donned a pair of tan Christian Louboutin stilettos. She accessorized the outfit with a pair of square Celine sunglasses, and a Hermes Kelly cellular bag, in a tan color, with light brown leather accents, and gold hardware. The bag retails for about $30,000. The First Lady's hair was pinned back in a French bun. The look is timelessly elegant and classy. Once again, we are provided with indisputable evidence that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. In these divisive times, one thing just about everyone can agree on is, 2020 was a very bad year. Perhaps, it was fitting that, to say goodbye to 2020, First Lady Melania Trump's New Year's Eve attire was absolutely atrocious. While she is known for her keen fashion sense, this past New Year's Eve, Mrs. Trump was an unmitigated fashion failure. On the last day of 2020, the First Lady returned to Washington, D.C., after spending the holidays at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Melania Trump was photographed stepping off Air Force One, wearing a wool blend bubble coat, with a Prince of Wales check print pattern, by Parisienne fashion house, Balenciaga. The oversized coat features an enormous collar and sloped sleeves, and retails for about $3,000. Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder seemed almost apologetic of the frumpy coat when he described it as a statement piece. Readers who commented on his story were far more blunt. One reader commented, quote, "I can't think of a single woman who would be flattered by that baggy coat." End quote. Another reader remarked, quote, "She even makes this burqa look good." End quote. While Melania Trump's fashion choices usually epitomize style and class, this ensemble is a total fashion flop. The dark baggy coat is devoid of shape or style, and is reminiscent of an oversized bathrobe. The black Christian Dior boots, with which the First Lady paired the offending overcoat, did not help much either. The boots have a bland, utilitarian look, and are reminiscent of rubber galoshes for walking in heavy rain and mud. The entire ensemble is dark, depressing, and unflattering. While Melania Trump is known for her sharp sense of style, no one is perfect, and there have been a few occasions when the First Lady's fashion choices failed to hit the mark. The most notable time when First Lady Melania Trump was a fashion failure was in 2018, when she traveled to the US-Mexico border, wearing a jacket with the words, "I really don't care, do you?" emblazoned on the back. The jacket was the subject of a great deal of scorn, for being tone-deaf and insensitive. The offensive parka originally retailed for just $40, but after the controversy broke, Potential buyers on eBay were bidding up to $900 for the piece of apathetic attire. Even when Mrs. Trump's fashion choices uncharacteristically flop, they still elicit strong and widespread reactions from the public and press alike. This is characteristic of all cultural icons, whether panned or praised. They make bold, provocative statements that get people talking. This is more evidence that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump departed the White House for the very last time, just like when she first arrived 4 years earlier, dressed in a classy and chic haute couture ensemble that may be described as an updated retake of the timelessly beautiful styles of former First Lady Jackie Kennedy. On January 20, 2021, Melania Trump walked across the South Lawn of the White House for the final time. For her departure from Washington, D.C., and from the role of First Lady of the United States, Mrs. Trump wore a chic and somber, all-black ensemble. She donned a cropped black jacket that features large off-centered silver-colored buttons. The jacket is by Chanel, and is from the brand's pre-fall 2020 collection. Under the Chanel jacket, Melania Trump wore a fitted black crepe sheath dress from Dolce & Gabbana's Spring 2020 ready-to-wear collection. For footwear, Mrs. Trump donned a pair of black snakeskin stilettos by Christian Louboutin. She continued with the all-black theme, with her suede gloves and Art Deco-inspired sunglasses, both of which are by Bottega Veneta. She completed the outfit with the ultimate accessory, a rare black crocodile Hermes Birkin bag that retails for about $60,000. Melania Trump left the White House just as she entered it, as a timeless beauty, dressed in elegant haute couture that strikes the perfect notes of style and class. Mrs. Trump's ensembles not only recall former First Lady Jackie Kennedy, her outfits have actually raised the bar, and set a new standard for First Lady fashions in the 21st century. While she is no longer the First Lady of the United States, it continues to be the case that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. After departing the White House in January 2021, Melania Trump arrived at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, looking as though she had stepped right out of the 1970s, wearing a full-length silk wool blend dress. The Gucci dress features a bold geometric print pattern in cream, orange, and navy blue, and retails for about $3,700. Melania Trump paired the 1970s-inspired frock with navy blue buckle flats by Roger Vivier. The blue buckle flats retail for about $550. For her arrival in the Sunshine State, Mrs. Trump donned a pair of black sunglasses by Saint Laurent. The bright and bold print pattern of the dress signifies that Mrs. Trump has a confident and upbeat outlook as she embarks on her next chapter in life. This vivacious ensemble is more confirmation that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. In one of her first, post-White House, public appearances, former First Lady Melania Trump was spotted, alongside President Trump, taking in Game 3 of the World Series, at Truist Park, in Atlanta, Georgia, on October 30, 2021. As Atlanta Braves fans performed their signature tomahawk chop, the Trumps participated also, much to the delight of the crowd. For the occasion, Melania Trump opted for a timelessly classy look, with her beige Burberry, double-breasted trench coat. Mrs. Trump previously wore this trench coat, in Belgium, in July 2018, and again, in Ireland, in June 2019. The coat retails for over $2,300. At the MTV Video Music Awards in September 2021, Madonna wore a similar Burberry trench coat, which she discarded while on stage. The fact that Madonna is copying the former First Lady's style is more proof that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. When Melania Trump embarked on her 5-day 4-country tour of Africa, in October 2018, it was her first international trip as First Lady of the United States, without President Trump accompanying her. For much of her travels across Africa, Mrs. Trump was sensibly dressed in tan-colored ensembles, consisting of pants and button-down collared shirts. One of the highlights of her trip was when she went on safari in Kenya, and was photographed gazing at wild zebras, and feeding baby elephants. For the excursion, Melania Trump wore an equestrian-style ensemble, by Polo Ralph Lauren, that consisted of form-fitting khaki pants, and a white shirt and safari hat. For footwear, the First Lady donned brown leather riding boots. Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder remarked, quote, "Sitting in a safari jeep, Mrs. Trump channeled Grace Kelly, in the 1953 film, Mogambo, watching wild zebras through binoculars, and appearing so elegant and graceful that she could have been on site in Africa, for a Vogue photo shoot." End quote. First Lady Melania Trump continued with the classic equestrian look, in Ghana, where she wore slim beige trousers, and a foliage green utility jacket, by Veronica Beard. When touring the Cape Coast Castle, Mrs. Trump wore faux snakeskin loafers, which retailed for an affordable $50. Later in the day, when she met with Ghanaian diplomats, the First Lady upgraded her footwear to a pair of rich brown stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. Melania Trump completed her tour of Africa in Egypt, where she participated in a stunning photo shoot, among the ancient pyramids and the Great Sphinx of Giza. The First Lady wore an archaeologist-inspired ensemble, consisting of wide-leg trousers, a white button-down shirt with black tie, and an ivory-colored Ralph Lauren blazer, which was draped over her shoulders. She capped off the look with a white Chanel hat that features a wide black band. Mrs. Trump's fashion choices for her African tour were sensible and classy. Over and over again, we are shown that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump's 2018 tour of Africa has been described as a moment of elegance, grace and style. The previous video on this channel looked at the equestrian-inspired ensembles, consisting of slacks and button-down shirts, that Mrs. Trump wore, as she explored Africa. In addition to slacks, the First Lady wore several high-fashion dresses, during her 5-day 4-country tour of Africa. Stepping off her plane in Ghana, Melania Trump wore a shirt dress by Celine, that features white and burgundy stripes. She matched the dress with a pair of stark white stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. The look is elegant and bold. For her arrival in Malawi, First Lady Melania Trump donned a khaki-colored shirt dress, by British fashion label, Joseph. Mrs. Trump cinched the dress at her waist with a thin brown leather belt. For footwear, she donned a pair of Manolo Blahnik suede stilettos, in a tangerine orange color with leather tips. For the next stop on her African tour, Melania Trump met with the First Lady of Kenya, Margaret Kenyatta, while wearing a light yellow and white striped kaftan dress, by Thierry. As she departed Kenya, First Lady Melania Trump wore an exotic animal print shirt dress, which was cinched at her waist with a woven leather belt. She matched the belt with a pair of brown suede stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. The ensemble is an example of safari chic. Whether she was wearing equestrian-inspired ensembles, consisting of slacks and button-down shirts, or haute couture dresses, often featuring bold print patterns, Mrs. Trump looked absolutely flawless throughout her entire African tour in 2018. This is more proof that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For Easter 2020, First Lady Melania Trump showed us that St. Patrick's Day isn't the only day to dress in all green. The First Lady wished all Americans a happy Easter Sunday, while wearing an all-green ensemble with crocodile and snakeskin accents. In a video posted to her social media, Melania Trump sat on a white park bench, while reading the children's Easter classic, The Little Rabbit. The First Lady said the following: "Happy Easter! Since we're not able to celebrate the traditional Easter egg roll on the grounds of the White House this year, I want to take a moment to wish everyone a happy Easter, and to read one of my favorite children's books." Melania Trump wore a linen green shirt dress by British label Sefin, and a dyed-to-match vintage crocodile belt. She paired the dress with snakeskin Manolo Blahnik stilettos, in the same shade of Kelly green. In addition to Easter and St. Patrick's Day, the green hue and breezy linen fabric are ideal for any spring occasion. Once again, First Lady Melania Trump demonstrates that she is the top fashion icon of our time. The first annual White House Easter egg roll was held on April 22, 1878, after President Rutherford B. Hayes agreed to open the White House grounds on Easter Monday to children who wanted to roll Easter eggs. Until recently, the annual Easter egg roll has been held on the south lawn of the White House every year, except during World Wars I and II, and when the White House was undergoing renovations. The White House Easter egg roll has also been cancelled for the past 2 years, due to the pandemic. The last Easter egg roll to be held at the White House was on April 22, 2019, back when Melania Trump was still the First Lady of the United States. At the time, Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder observed, quote, "Mrs. Trump emerged from the staircase of the White House, alongside President Trump, to adoring supporters and playful children, wearing an off-the-runway Michael Kors blue suede trench coat from the American designer's Spring 2019 ready-to-wear collection. Whereas Kors styled the coat with a bulk of accessories, Mrs. Trump streamlined the look, a nod to the more easygoing times of the 1970s, by which the long-collared coat makes reference to. The coat retails at Neiman Marcus for about $5,000. End quote. The First Lady paired the coat with tan-colored flats, by Christian Louboutin. The ensemble is both elegant and practical for a spring day frolicking outside with children. After participating in the Easter egg roll and playing with the kids, First Lady Melania Trump read a story to the children. This is a tradition that Mrs. Trump maintained even during the pandemic in 2020, when she read her favorite Easter story, The Little Rabbit, and posted it on YouTube. I covered this in my video entitled, Easter in Green, for which I have provided the link in the description below. As is the case with other holidays, Easter is an occasion when Mrs. Trump's grace and warmth especially shine through. This is more evidence that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Even when going outside, in heavy rain, First Lady Melania Trump always has impeccable style. As heavy rain fell from the lead grey skies over Paris, on November 11, 2018, Melania Trump participated in the commemoration of the end of World War I, at the Château de Versailles. For the occasion, she wore a grey wool dress, by Christian Dior. She paired the dress with a matching grey wool trench coat, which she hung from her shoulders, thereby creating a regal silhouette. To shelter herself from the rain, Mrs. Trump carried a black umbrella, which matched her black stilettos and leather gloves. The overall look is sophisticated but somber. On December 2, 2019, First Lady Melania Trump was once again photographed seeking shelter from rain, under a black umbrella. The black umbrella complemented the rest of her all-black ensemble, which consisted of a double-breasted Burberry trench coat, and a pair of knee-high suede boots. In addition to wearing grey and black, sometimes Melania Trump's fashion choices add bright punches of color to dark rainy days. When Mrs. Trump arrived in Palm Beach, Florida on the evening of February 1, 2020, a powerful tropical storm was drenching the Sunshine State with rain. The First Lady's vivid floral print dress stood out, under the large black umbrella she held. The floral number was cut from crisp silk, and had a pleated skirt, which also features a bold green stripe at the hem. The dress is by Gucci, and retailed for $4,900. Mrs. Trump paired the dress with suede fuchsia stilettos, by Christian Louboutin. Perhaps the most noteworthy rainy occasion, when Melania Trump's fashion choices stood out for their vibrant colors, was the 4th of July ceremony, at the Lincoln Memorial in 2019. As the skies over Washington, D.C. opened up with rain, First Lady Melania Trump was a rainbow personified. For the event, she wore a white, off-the-shoulder knitted midi dress, by Carolina Herrera. The dress features thin multicolored stripes, oversized ties, and a flared skirt. Whether she is wearing monochromatic ensembles in shades of gray and black, or outfits that feature vivid multicolored print patterns, Mrs. Trump's fashion choices for inclement rainy weather are always impeccable. This is more proof that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Following Independence Day 2021, Melania Trump was photographed going out and about the streets of Manhattan, in her signature summer-style white attire, which she refreshed with tops and accessories in contrasting neutral tones. While they now live full-time in Florida, President Trump and Melania Trump recently returned to their former home, at the Trump Tower, in New York, in order to spend some time in the city for summer. On July 6, 2021, the former First Lady and enduring fashion icon was spotted romping around the Big Apple, in a beige, Burberry blazer, with white accents, over a white top and slacks. She matched the ensemble with white pointy toe flats, by Christian Louboutin. Mrs. Trump accessorized the outfit with a chic pair of mirror sunglasses, and a white leather Hermes Kelly handbag, that retails for over $26,000. The following day, Melania Trump contrasted her summer white fashions with a black button-down collared shirt, and a black leather Hermes Birkin bag, that retails for about $11,000. Melania Trump is known for her sizzling white-hot summertime fashions. She keeps her signature summer style fresh, by adding subtle punches of color, as shown previously on this channel, or by wearing pieces in contrasting neutral tones of beige and black. Her ability to forge her own recognized summer style, while refreshing her white-hot attire with complementary elements, is more proof that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For Independence Day 2020, Melania Trump saluted the United States of America in a modern T-length silk blend sleeveless dress, matching white leather Christian Louboutin flats, and a vintage 8-setine Alia scalloped laser-cut red leather belt. The Alia belt is from the designer's famed 1992 spring-summer ready-to-wear collection, where it was featured in black leather, and a wider version was featured in red. The belt is a piece of fashion history that the most well-connected couture collectors are unable to get their hands on. The First Lady and fashion icon is quite fond of the clingy cuts of Alia's dresses, and the cinched old world look of the label's leather belts. In 2017, Melania Trump wore a tan Alia leather belt to visit the Great Wall of China, and this year, she wore the white version of the belt to the Daytona 500. Once again, Melania Trump nails it, and confirms her status as the top fashion icon of our time.
In audio.
While the Biden administration is currently warmongering for World War III against Russia and Putin, it is important to recall that USA-Russia relations were far warmer when Trump was president, just a few years ago. In contrast with the poor relationship that exists today between the two superpowers, there was a spirit of diplomacy and mutual respect in the air, at the summit between President Trump and President Putin, in Helsinki, Finland, in July 2018. For the historic meeting, First Lady Melania Trump donned an ensemble entirely in yellow, which is the color of peace. Mrs. Trump turned heads, with her mauve pale yellow trench coat, by Gucci. The coat includes a matching yellow belt, with a distinctive butterfly belt buckle. The First Lady matched the coat with a pair of bright yellow stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. The outfit struck the perfect notes of warmth and professionalism, and was absolutely ideal for the high diplomatic event. Even when she is meeting with world leaders of major superpowers, we are shown over and over again that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Spring is always an exciting time for fashion. As with any other time of year, Melania Trump's spring season fashion choices demonstrate her status as the unrivaled fashion icon of our time. On April 11, 2019, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump stepped out of the White House to receive the President of South Korea, Moon Jae-in, and his wife, Kim Young-suk. For the springtime reception, Mrs. Trump went with one of her fashion staples, a haute couture trench coat, in a vibrant fuchsia color, ideal for spring. The Louis Vuitton coat was cinched at the First Lady's waist with a black leather belt. Mrs. Trump matched the belt with black leather stiletto pumps by Christian Louboutin. Later that month, First Lady Melania Trump was spotted wearing another trench coat, perfect for spring, this time with a beautiful floral print pattern. The wool coat features luxurious jewel-encrusted buttons, and is by American designer Adam Lips. For footwear, Melania Trump wore a pair of pastel orange suede stilettos by Christian Louboutin. On May 15, 2020, First Lady Melania Trump was photographed in the Rose Garden of the White House, wearing a multicolored white sheath dress by Jason Wu. The frock features a speckled print pattern of pink, blue, and orange, against a white background. Melania Trump paired the dress with tangerine color snakeskin stilettos by Manolo Blahnik. The color palette and simple elegance of the ensemble are ideal for spring. Her spring season fashion choices are more evidence that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. On St. Patrick's Day, everyone is a little bit Irish, and one way to get into the festive spirit, besides drinking copious amounts of Guinness, is to dress in green. The St. Patrick's Day inspired verdant vêtements of former First Lady Melania Trump would make any fashionista green with envy. A few days before St. Patrick's Day 2018, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump welcomed the Prime Minister of Ireland, Leo Varadkar, to the White House. In honor of Ireland and St. Patrick, the First Lady wore an emerald green leopard print dress. The vivacious dress is by Brandon Maxwell, a young New York designer. According to Neiman Marcus, the dress features a silk blend leopard print jacquard, in a rich shade of emerald green, adds beautiful texture to a curve-hugging sheath, styled with a modern midi-length hem. For St. Patrick's Day 2019, First Lady Melania Trump once again turned heads, with her festive fashion choices. The Prime Minister of Ireland presented President Trump and the First Lady with a shamrock bowl. For the occasion, Mrs. Trump donned a 3/4 length sleeve, mint green dress, with a bold blue and green print pattern. The dress features small buttons down the front, and a matching waist cinching belt. President Donald Trump is clearly blessed, with the luck of the Irish, to have such a stunningly beautiful wife. For there is simply no doubt about it, Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Sizzling white-hot summertime ensembles are a key element of Melania Trump's signature style. Mrs. Trump's summer weather white wearables were the subject of my last video, and other videos on this channel, linked in the description below. In addition to her sizzling white-hot ensembles, the summer season is a time for Melania Trump to wear bright vibrant colors. Then First Lady Melania Trump was a ray of sunshine for Indian Prime Minister Modi's visit to the White House, on June 26, 2017. For the occasion, Melania Trump donned a bright yellow floral print crepe gown, with a wide black belt. The vivacious dress is by luxury designer Emilio Pucci and retails for $2,160. At the time, Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder remarked that it was Mrs. Trump's boldest outfit yet, in her new role at the White House. On August 27, 2018, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump welcomed the President of Kenya and his wife to the White House. For the occasion, Mrs. Trump wore a luxurious floral brocade A-line skirt by Valentino. She paired the skirt with a light pink sleeveless top and matching pink stiletto heels by Christian Louboutin. First Lady Melania Trump attended an event with school children, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment, on August 24, 2020. For the event, Mrs. Trump wore an orange sleeveless tee-length dress. The dress features a white floral print pattern, and is by Dries Van Noten. The First Lady paired the dress with matching tangerine suede stiletto pumps by Christian Louboutin. In addition to her signature style white hot ensembles, the summer season is a time for Melania Trump to wear bright, vibrant colors. Her colorful summertime attire is more proof that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Throughout her time as First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump demonstrated compassion and love toward children and Valentine's. Throughout her time as First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump showed compassion and love toward children. As discussed in my video entitled, Ravishing in Red for Valentine's Day 2020, Mrs. Trump spent the February holiday at the National Institutes of Health's Children's Inn, in Bethesda, Maryland. This had become a tradition for First Lady Melania Trump, as she had also spent Valentine's Days in both 2018 and 2019, at the same children's hospital. For Valentine's Day 2018, Melania Trump spent time interacting with the kids, while wearing a red wool trench coat by Calvin Klein. The coat features pockets and a matching red belt with a silver buckle. The First Lady paired the festive coat with black Christian Louboutin patent python stilettos. The ensemble is a breathtaking Valentine's Day take. Trump's signature style haute couture trench coats. For Valentine's Day 2019, Melania Trump returned to the Children's Inn, at the National Institute of Health, to make arts and crafts, and interact with the children. HollywoodLife.com reported, quote, "Big-hearted Melania even sat down to chat with a little girl she recognized from her 2018 Valentine's Day visit to the hospital. She smiled as she spotted 9-year-old Amber, who uses a walker. She bent down, so as to be at eye level with the girl from San Jose, California, and told her, 'I remember you from last year, how are you feeling?' The two then headed to a table, to join other children, and decorate crafts." End quote. For the occasion, the First Lady donned a light pink double-breasted wool trench coat, by Paris-based, Belgian fashion designer, Cédric Charlier. She matched the coat with a pair of Manolo Blahnik stiletto heels, in the same shade of light pink. Whether she is ravishing in red, or pretty in pink, her Valentine's Day-inspired trench coats are more proof that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Throughout her time as Melania Trump is known for her elegant and chic signature style. Classy full-length trench coats are a key ingredient in Melania Trump's signature style, as depicted in several videos on this channel, linked in the description below. In addition to full-length haute couture trench coats, Melania Trump also has many shorter, hip-length winter coats. In March 2019, then First Lady Melania Trump, was spotted on the White House lawn, wearing a Burberry Kensington short trench coat. The beige coat features double-breasted front buttons, and a matching waist-cinching belt. Earlier that month, Mrs. Trump was photographed, wearing a navy-colored, double-breasted peacoat, by Tommy Hilfiger. The coat features gold buttons, a red patch along one sleeve, and knit cuffs. The former First Lady and timeless fashion icon was photographed in the Grand Teton Mountains in October 2019. For the high-altitude location, Melania Trump kept herself warm in a puff-down jacket in army green by Rag & Bone. This ensemble was discussed in more detail in my video entitled "Be Best Campaign Comes to Wyoming," which is linked in the description below. In February 2020, Melania Trump was photographed on the south lawn of the White House, wearing a dramatic wool cape by French fashion house Chloe. The cape is camel-colored, with contrasting gray panels and asymmetrical navy-colored stripes. The haute couture wool cape is the ultimate expression of winter chic. Whether she is wearing classic, full-length trench coats, or shorter, hip-length winter coats, Mrs. Trump knows how to beat cold weather in style. This is more evidence that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. In my last video, entitled "Frumpy Fashion Flop to Finish 2020, I detailed how First Lady Melania Trump's recent New Year's Eve ensemble left much to be desired. Her New Year's Eve fashion fail was a rare exception to Mrs. Trump's typical fashion choices, which almost always strike the perfect notes of style and class. Some have excused Melania Trump's frumpy oversized New Year's Eve coat by saying that the First Lady was outside in cold weather and dressing for warmth. But, as Melania Trump herself has demonstrated best, with her seemingly endless collection of haute couture trench coats, it is very possible to dress for cold winter weather, without sacrificing style. In March 2018, sub-freezing winter temperatures were still in full swing in Washington, D.C., when First Lady Melania Trump was spotted on the White House grounds, alongside President Trump, while wearing a navy trench coat by French fashion house Chloe. The coat features knit sleeves and a funnel-like collar to provide extra warmth to the neck. The First Lady paired the coat with knee-high tan leather boots by Italian luxury brand Gianvito Rossi. With this breathtaking bundled-up look, Mrs. Trump was ready for very cold winter weather. The following winter, First Lady Melania Trump kept warm in a camel-colored, wool and cashmere blend overcoat by London-based Serbian fashion designer Roxanda. The coat features subtle red stitching and a bold red stripe across the back and down the sleeves. The First Lady paired the coat with matching knee-high, Gianvito Rossi Italian leather boots. On January 5, 2020, First Lady Melania Trump returned to the winter cold of Washington, D.C., after spending the holidays in Florida, while wearing a cozy and chic cashmere overcoat by Italian luxury clothier Loro Piana. The colors of the coat, gray, white, and beige, recall the hues of a frosty winter day. Year after year, Melania Trump puts together refreshing and classy winter weather ensembles that keep her warm without sacrificing style. This is because First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For Independence Day 2020, Melania Trump saluted the United States of America. The swearing-in ceremony for newly confirmed U.S. Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett was held on the south lawn of the White House, on October 26, 2020. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump was stylish and sleek, in a herringbone skirt suit, from the Dolce & Gabbana, Fall 2019 ready-to-wear collection. The two-piece suit consists of a high-waisted, wool blend, herringbone twill skirt, with a matching, double-breasted blazer. The look is bold and edgy, while also appropriately formal and business-like for the serious occasion. The next day, the First Lady hit the campaign trail for her husband, in Atglen, Pennsylvania, where she delivered a patriotic and inspiring speech. For her day in the Keystone State, First Lady Melania Trump wore a double-breasted trench coat, in a faded army green color, by Michael Kors. The coat features a back slit, and a matching waist-cinching belt. While the First Lady is known for her pricey fashion choices, this trench coat retails for an affordable $250. Mrs. Trump paired the coat with tortoise-shell Saint Laurent sunglasses, and metallic bronze stiletto heels, by Christian Louboutin. Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder described the ensemble as a spin-off of Mrs. Trump's off-the-runway Alexander McQueen, military-inspired look, that she wore to deliver her Republican National Convention speech. At every event she attends, we are provided with additional proof that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. The Super Bowl is the annual NFL championship, held every February, that offers the ideal midwinter excuse to host house parties, with generous servings of junk food and beverages. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump host their annual Super Bowl party at their Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. For Mrs. Trump, Super Bowl is an opportunity to showcase some of her more casual fashions, following her ultra-glamorous ensembles of the Christmas holiday season. For Super Bowl 2018, then First Lady Melania Trump opted for an all-American look, with a varsity jacket, in red, white and blue. The Amiri bomber jacket is made from silk satin fabric, with a red leather trim, and retailed for over $2,000. Mrs. Trump paired the jacket with electric blue stilettos, by Christian Louboutin, and white skinny jeans. The look is both down-home all-American, and haute couture chic. For Super Bowl 2020, Melania Trump went with a slightly more formal look. For the event, she wore a knit stretch dress, by Atelier Cato, for Hervé Pierre, from their pre-fall 2020 collection. She paired the dress with a navy trench coat, by Christian Dior. The ensemble strikes the perfect notes of style and class. As with every occasion, the Super Bowl parties held every February at Mar-a-Lago provide more evidence that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. When visiting Warsaw, on July 6, 2017, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump both gave patriotic and inspiring speeches to cheering crowds of Polish people. For the historic occasion, Mrs. Trump donned a sleeveless découpage midi dress from Spanish fashion house Del Pozo. The eye-catching frock was made from a scuba knit fabric, and features a bold and bright pop art design of orange, blue, and magenta. The First Lady's dress was just as much of a hit, as was her speech. The vibrant dress retailed for about $3,000, and was completely sold out within a few days after Mrs. Trump wore it. Buyers quickly snapped up the haute couture dress because Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. When visiting First Lady Melania Trump always brings color and cheer when she visits the state of Ohio. The First Lady was pretty in pink at the Trump rally in Youngstown, Ohio on July 25, 2017. For the roof raiser event, Melania Trump wore a floral patterned pink dress by Monique Lewillier. She completed the ensemble with a pair of light pink suede, Christian Louboutin pointed stilettos. Mrs. Trump was a hit with the crowd in Youngstown. As Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder observed, quote, "At the rally, Melania got huge cheers as she introduced her husband, saying, 'When it comes to the country and the people he loves, you can always count on him.'" End quote. First Lady Melania Trump continued to bring color and cheer to Ohio on her subsequent visit to the state. On the 5th of February 2018, the First Lady traveled with President Trump to Cincinnati, Ohio. For the trip, Mrs. Trump was a ray of sunshine in a bright yellow ensemble. Draped across the First Lady's shoulders was a yellow wool trench coat by Ralph Lauren. Under the coat, she wore a matching yellow turtleneck sweater and a brown leather skirt with a slit up the center by Hervé Pierre, the First Lady's personal couturier. For footwear, Mrs. Trump donned a stunning pair of cheetah print suede stiletto pumps by Manolo Blahnik. Melania Trump accessorized the outfit with a brown leather Hermes Birkin bag that retails for over $20,000. The ensemble is the apex of style and class, while simultaneously playful and edgy. While in Cincinnati, the yellow-garbed First Lady brightened the day for the kids at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. After hearing from doctors about the ravages caused by opioid addiction and meeting with patients, Mrs. Trump spent time playing with the kids in an activity room of the hospital, where she dropped off coloring books and valentines. She also interacted with a child who survived a serious illness and is now part of the hospital's champion family group. Later on, First Lady Melania Trump issued a press release in which she remarked, quote, "Thank you, Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center, for a very warm and informative visit. I am so grateful for your continued research on combating opioid abuse, and for all you are doing for your patients. Children will always be my top priority, and I appreciate the opportunity to visit with the young patients today, and witness firsthand their strength and spirit." End quote. Mrs. Trump brings bright colors and cheer when she visits the state of Ohio. Whether in Ohio or any other state, the First Lady is always committed to the well-being of children. This is why many believe we are fortunate that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Since becoming the First Lady of the United States, there have been many occasions when Melania Trump has been pretty in pink to greet foreign dignitaries at the White House. In June 2019, the First Lady welcomed Polish President Andrzej and his wife, Agata Kornhauser-Duda, to the White House, in a pale pink suit by Calvin Klein. In April 2019, she greeted South Korean President Moon Jae-in and his wife, Kim Young-suk, while wearing a Louis Vuitton fuchsia coat. In February 2019, First Lady Melania Trump welcomed Colombian President Marquez and his wife, Maria Ruiz Sandoval, to Washington, D.C., while wearing a bright pink plaid Fendi coat that features hot pink fur cuffs. And, in June 2018, Mrs. Trump received Queen Rania and King Abdullah II of Jordan at the White House, in a light pink leather dress with an asymmetrical neckline by fashion design duo Proenza Schouler. But perhaps the First Lady's most prominent, pretty in pink moment was when she addressed the United Nations General Assembly, on September 20, 2017. Melania Trump gave an inspiring and patriotic speech on the importance of children, while wearing a hot pink wool coat, by Spanish fashion house, Del Pozo. She paired the coat with matching hot pink stilettos, by Christian Louboutin. The pretty in pink First Lady eloquently remarked, "If you look at the present state of children in any society, we will see the future that our world can expect tomorrow. Show me your civic lessons of today, and I will show you your civic leaders of tomorrow. Show me your history lessons of today, and I will show you your political leaders of tomorrow. Show me the loving bonds between your families today, and I will show you the patriotism and moral clarity of your nation tomorrow." In addition to being a stunning beauty with refined style, Melania Trump is a wise orator, who sees the state of children in society as our patriotic duty. Not only is she the pink patriot, First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump is known for her dazzling dresses, but the fall season is the time of year when she projects a more understated style with form-fitting pants. On October 3, 2017, First Lady Melania Trump was spotted among the fall-colored trees on the White House grounds, wearing a navy blue wool turtleneck sweater, by Victoria Beckham. Mrs. Trump matched the navy blue turtleneck with navy suede stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. The navy blue color of the sweater and shoes stands out against the black fitted cigarette pants that the First Lady wore with the ensemble. The term, cigarette pants, refers to a style of women's pants that were popular in the 1950s. Cigarette pants had high waists, side or back zippers, flat fronts, wide waistbands, no belt loops, full hips, and were slim-fitting through the legs. They ended at just above the ankle bone. Melania Trump accessorized the outfit with a pair of turtle shell sunglasses. The look is classy and elegant, yet slightly more understated than the regal haute couture ensembles, with which the First Lady has made fashion history. The following autumn, First Lady Melania Trump was photographed, while wearing an even more casual, fall ensemble. Sheltered from the fall rain, with a large, black umbrella, held by President Trump, the First Lady stepped out of the White House on October 15, 2018, wearing a pair of gray skinny jeans, and a black cargo jacket, with an upturned collar. For footwear, Mrs. Trump donned a pair of Timberland waterproof black boots. The look is cool and casual, while also more practical for inclement fall weather than Mrs. Trump's typical, ultra-glamorous ensembles, perched atop stiletto heels. Even when she is out for a stroll, in the damp chilly fall weather, dressed in understated slacks or casual jeans with waterproof boots, Melania Trump's outfits always look chic and classy. This is because First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. While my last video detailed some of her more casual and understated fall fashions, the annual turkey pardoning ceremony is an opportunity for First Lady Melania Trump to showcase dazzling fall fashions, with earth tone color palettes. For her first Thanksgiving as First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump attended the 2017 turkey pardoning ceremony, with a Stella McCartney floral coat, draped over her shoulders. Under the coat, the First Lady wore a burnt orange, Victoria Beckham turtleneck, with cuffed sleeves, which was tucked into a brown leather, high-waisted pencil skirt, by Hervé Pierre, Melania Trump's personal couturier. Mrs. Trump completed the earth tone ensemble with a pair of dark brown Manolo Blahnik stilettos. For the following Thanksgiving, First Lady Melania Trump stole the show once again, at the annual turkey pardoning ceremony, with another fashion-forward fall outfit. For the annual act of avian amnesty, Melania Trump wore a Christian Dior coat, featuring a bold geometric pattern, in red, white, black, and camel color. The coat is from the Dior pre-fall 2018 collection. Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder observed, quote, "The coat stood out amongst the crowd of mostly men's suits, with its vivid colors and geometric abstract pattern." End quote. The First Lady paired the striking coat with a simple black sweater, black skinny pants, and black stiletto boots by Christian Louboutin. While she wore ensembles featuring multiple, vivid fall colors for her first two turkey pardoning ceremonies as First Lady, for the 2019 Day of Melia Green Mercy, Melania Trump was decked out in monochromatic brown suede. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump donned a rich brown, suede trench coat, by Burberry. The coat features a matching suede, waist-cinching belt. Mrs. Trump paired the coat with matching suede knee-high boots, by Saint Laurent, and thin rectangular, tortoise-shell sunglasses. Whether she is wearing bright, multicolored patterns, or rich, monochrome brown, Mrs. Trump's fall fashions never fail to steal the show at the annual Thanksgiving turkey pardoning ceremony. This is because First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. In keeping with more than 7 decades of American tradition, on December 13, 2018, First Lady Melania Trump made her annual Christmas-time visit to the Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. As explained in my video, linked in the description below, this has been an annual Christmas-time tradition for U.S. First Ladies since 1945, when First Lady Bess Truman was photographed with a 3-year-old polio patient. For her 2018 visit to the world-renowned Children's Hospital, First Lady Melania Trump spent time in the neonatal unit, with families of premature babies. After listening to the families' amazing heart-wrenching stories, Mrs. Trump read a story of her own. In the hospital atrium, the First Lady sat on stage alongside 2 children, and Santa Claus, as she read the children's story, Olive for the Ornament, to an audience of sick children and their families. The book's author, Todd Zimmerman, joined the First Lady on stage, and remarked, quote, "I'd also like to thank you for everything you do to promote kindness, as part of your Be Best campaign." End quote. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump wore a candy cane-colored ensemble, so festive, that it would fit right in at Santa's workshop. Mrs. Trump donned an oversized, wool blend overcoat, by German designer, Thomas Mayer. The coat features a fine red and white stripe pattern, which the First Lady matched with a stunning pair of red and white, candy cane stiletto pumps, by Manolo Blahnik. The candy cane stilettos are absolutely delicious. The outfit radiates holiday joy, and confirms Melania Trump's status as the First Lady of Christmas. It is also yet more proof that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump is known for her glamorous and towering stiletto heels, so when she took her Be Best campaign on tour to Oklahoma and Washington State, on March 5, 2019, it was only fitting that Mrs. Trump donned her best pair of stiletto pumps. As she jet-setted across the American West, the First Lady was photographed, strutting in and out of presidential cars, in yellow tartan stilettos. The pointed toe pumps are by Manolo Blahnik, and are handcrafted in Italy. Melania Trump paired the striking yellow tartan stilettos with a bright yellow Ralph Lauren turtleneck sweater, which she wore under a deep blue wool trench coat by Italian fashion house Bottega Veneta. Mrs. Trump's first stop of the day was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where she visited the Dove School of Discovery, an elementary school that incorporates character education in its curriculum. First Lady Melania Trump issued a press statement about the school, in which she remarked, quote, "I cannot emphasize further the importance of character-based education for our children. Dove schools embody kindness, respect, positive interactions, and strong character through the curriculum that they teach every day. They are sculpting our next generation by creating a foundation of youth with strong character. I know they will go on to do great things." End quote. Later that day, First Lady Melania Trump arrived in Washington state. After landing at Boeing Field in King County, Mrs. Trump visited the Microsoft campus in Redmond, Washington. Local media outlet, Yak Tri News, reported the following. Quote, "At Microsoft, the First Lady received a briefing on programs and apps designed to teach kids how to stay safe online, and about technology to help children with disabilities. A Microsoft employee showed Mrs. Trump how he uses technology to limit his teenagers' screen time, and control the websites they can access, and who can see what they're doing online." End quote. With her Be Best campaign, Melania Trump demonstrates her deep commitment to the safe development and well-being of children. She always strives to be best, which is why First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump is known for her elegant, Jackie Kennedy-inspired, high-fashion trench coats. This is why it was noteworthy when, on March 7, 2019, for the state visit of Czech Republic Prime Minister Andrej Babis and his wife, Monika Babisova, to Washington, D.C., that the Czech Prime Minister's wife's fashion choices paid homage to Mrs. Trump's signature style. For the occasion, Mrs. Babisova wore a purplish-pink Fendi coat, with pink fur mink cuffs. The coat is very similar to the Fendi coat Melania Trump wore, just 1 month prior, as discussed in my Pink Patriot video. The Czech Prime Minister's wife's, Melania Trump-inspired, fashion choices were meant as a sign of respect toward the First Lady of the United States, and may be seen as an example of trench coat diplomacy. Not to be outdone, First Lady Melania Trump donned her own haute couture trench coat to make fashion aficionados drool. Mrs. Trump's trench coat was by Alexa Chung, and was made with green, lambskin leather. The coat features a matching, waist-cinching belt, and tortoise-shell resin buttons. The First Lady paired the coat with suede tan stilettos, by Christian Louboutin. In his Breitbart Fashion Notes article, in which he referred to Mrs. Trump and Mrs. Babisova as style sisters, John Binder elaborated on their commonalities. Quote, "Mrs. Trump and Mrs. Babisova have much in common, besides their admiration for high fashion and their Central European heritage. Both are married to billionaires, with populist nationalist worldviews, and both of their husbands beat the political establishment in their elections." End quote. With Melania Trump, the intersection of high fashion, politics, and international relations comes into sharp focus. This is because First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For the 2019 National Day of Prayer event, which was held in the Rose Garden of the White House on May 2nd, First Lady Melania Trump looked great in green. For the occasion, Melania Trump wore a deep green fit and flare, midi-skirt dress, by Amelia Wickstead, a New Zealand-born designer based in London, England. The dress features a fitted bodice and rounded neckline. The First Lady cinched the dress at her slim waist with a thin crocodile belt, in a similar shade of deep green. For footwear, Mrs. Trump opted for a pair of Christian Louboutin stiletto heels, with a beautiful floral print. The floral stilettos pop against the deep green dress, thereby creating the perfect spring ensemble. There is simply no doubt about it. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump was spotted on the White House lawn, on May 24, 2019, as she boarded Air Force One with President Trump, for their state visit to Japan. The First Lady wore a whimsical postcard print dress, by Calvin Klein, made with fine Italian silk. The print of the fabric is a pastiche of vacation snapshot-style postcards, that evoke an air of long-distance travel. Melania Trump paired the Calvin Klein number with a thin brown leather belt, and a pair of Saint Laurent tortoise-shell sunglasses. For footwear, Mrs. Trump wore a pair of navy blue Christian Louboutin stiletto pumps, with a wider heel than the pencil-thin stilettos that the First Lady usually wears. Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder describes the outfit as the quintessential high-fashion travel ensemble. This is yet more proof that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. When President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump traveled to Tokyo in May 2019, it was the first state visit by a sitting U.S. president to Japan since 1996. For her first day in Japan, Mrs. Trump spent most of her time with Mrs. Aki Abe, the wife of Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. For the occasion, Melania Trump wore a floral embroidered A-line dress, with a fitted bodice, by Carolina Herrera. She matched the dress with a pair of rich red suede stiletto heels, by Manolo Blahnik. The pop of red against the mostly white dress is reminiscent of the Japanese flag. Similarly, the cherry blossom print dress recalls Japan's world-renowned cherry blossom trees. That evening, Melania Trump stepped up the glamour, when she arrived at the Japanese Imperial Palace, to greet Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako. For the historic event, the First Lady donned a light pink J. Mendel silk chiffon gown, that features a kaftan-style cape, a slit up the side, bejeweled neckline, and impeccably embroidered feathers. The silver neckline and feathers are complemented by the silver iridescent Christian Louboutin stilettos, with which Mrs. Trump paired the dress. The flowing cape that accompanies the gown is reminiscent of a kimono. With both ensembles, her day dress and her evening gown, the First Lady struck the perfect notes of elegance and style, while paying homage to the rich local Japanese culture. This is yet another demonstration of how First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump is known for her refined style. In particular, elegant white hats are among the First Lady's fashion staples. Melania Trump has wowed fashion watchers with her white hats on many occasions. For the state visit of French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte Macron, to Washington, D.C., on April 24, 2018, Mrs. Trump is reported to have stole the show when she stepped out of the White House, in a stark white hat, and matching belted skirt suit. The skirt suit is from the Michael Kors Spring 2018 ready-to-wear collection, while the white, wide-brim hat is by Hervé Pierre, Melania Trump's personal couturier. Later that year, in October 2018, First Lady Melania Trump participated in a stunning photo shoot, among the ancient Egyptian pyramids, and the Great Sphinx of Giza, that could be ripped from the pages of Vogue magazine. The First Lady wore a Chanel white hat, with a black band, to cap off her archaeologist-inspired ensemble, consisting of wide-leg trousers, a white button-down shirt with black tie, and an ivory-colored Ralph Lauren blazer draped over her shoulders. Another iconic, white hat moment of Melania Trump was in June 2019, when she sat next to Queen Elizabeth II, at a D-Day commemoration ceremony. For the occasion, the First Lady wore a white hat, by Irish hat maker, Philip Treacy, who designs most of the hats worn by the British royal family. Melania Trump wore the angular hat with an ivory-colored, wool twill coat dress, by The Row, which is Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's American fashion line. But perhaps her most iconic, white hat moment, was just a few days earlier, when First Lady Melania Trump arrived at Buckingham Palace to meet the Queen, along with Prince Charles and Camilla. For the occasion, Melania Trump wore a double-faced, wool crepe white hat, that features a midnight blue silk band. The hat was custom-made for the First Lady, by her personal couturier, Hervé Pierre. Mrs. Trump wore the hat with a sleek white skirt suit, that features a crisp, navy, collar and belt, custom-made for the First Lady by Italian fashion house, Dolce & Gabbana. The ensemble is a fresh take on classic elegance. As Breitbart fashion notes reporter John Binder remarks, quote, Mrs. Trump channeled a 21st century contemporary, Audrey Hepburn, as Eliza Doolittle, in 1964's My Fair Lady, with the fiercely BA angle of the hat, and the ensemble's head-to-toe, two-tone color story. End quote. Elegant white hats are recognized as a key element of Melania Trump's signature style. Her timelessly beautiful white hats are more proof that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. As she left Washington, D.C., for her husband's re-election rally in Orlando, Florida, on June 18, 2019, First Lady Melania Trump was white-hot for summer, in a cotton eyelet fit and flare midi dress, by the Paris-based designer, Andrew Gien. Mrs. Trump paired the white dress with flat-top acetate sunglasses, by Saint Laurent, and polka-dotted Manolo Blahnik stilettos. The white ensemble is Melania Trump's signature summer look. As Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder remarks, Mrs. Trump is particularly drawn to wearing white in the summer season. While the First Lady loves to wear white in the summer, when she got to Florida for the Orlando rally, Melania Trump injected some color in her fashion choices. Mrs. Trump wore a bright yellow, wide-leg, jumpsuit by Ralph Lauren, that features a peekaboo back, and cape-esque billowing sleeves. The yellow jumpsuit was cinched at the First Lady's thin waist with a gold Ralph Lauren belt. The jumpsuit is made from a luxurious khaki fabric, that is woven using crepe yarn. Melania Trump paired the jumpsuit with matching stiletto heels, thereby creating a monochromatic yellow ensemble. The color choice was made in recognition of Florida, which is known as the Sunshine State. Whether she is wearing one of her signature white summer frocks, or bright vibrant colors, Melania Trump's fashion choices always strike the perfect notes of elegance and style. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump is white-hot for summer. On Friday, July 5, 2019, Melania Trump departed Washington, D.C. for the weekend, in an all-white, clean and casual ensemble. She wore a white button-down shirt, and a pair of J brand skinny jeans in ivory, with matching Adidas running shoes. She accessorized the outfit with a crocodile and canvas tote bag by Michael Kors, that retails for $990, and a pair of Saint Laurent tortoise-shell frame sunglasses. Later that weekend, the First Lady returned to Washington, D.C., in her signature white hot summer garb, but this time with retro elements to the ensemble. Melania Trump was spotted on the White House lawn, in a T-length white Ralph Lauren shirt dress, with a V-neck collared top, and pleated skirt bottom. She cinched the dress at her waist with a narrow white leather belt. For footwear, Melania Trump wore tan-colored Christian Louboutin stiletto heels. She completed the summer outfit with a pair of Saint Laurent brown speckled sunglasses. Breitbart fashion reporter, John Binder, pointed out the retro elements of the outfit. Quote, "From the garment's collar, to its pleated skirt, this look has the 1940s, where women often wore menswear-inspired blouses tucked into pleated skirts with pumps, written all over it." End quote. As usual, the First Lady sizzles in her white-hot summer styles. Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. On August 23, 2019, First Lady Melania Trump and President Trump left Washington, D.C., for the G7 meeting in Biarritz, France. The French seaside resort town is where fashion icon, Coco Chanel, opened her first shop, in 1915. Therefore, it was highly appropriate that Melania Trump chose to wear a Chanel tweed jacket in black and white. The First Lady paired the Chanel piece with white skinny jeans by J brand, and white balala leather ballet flats by Christian Louboutin. Mrs. Trump chose the perfect accessory for the occasion, with a Chanel handbag in white lambskin with a silver tone metal strap. Although this particular handbag is no longer available, Chanel offers similar handbags ranging in price from about $4,000 to $10,000. Chanel is the most coveted luxury fashion brand in the world, and the First Lady knows how to pull it off perfectly. This is yet another demonstration of how First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Given her sunny seaside surroundings, at the 2019 G7 summit in Biarritz, a resort town on France's Atlantic coast, on August 24, 2019, Melania Trump opted to wear vibrant summer colors. She wore a bright sunshine yellow Calvin Klein dress, that features a bold pink and white circular tie-dye print. Mrs. Trump paired the dress with fuchsia patent leather, Kate, Christian Louboutin stilettos, and her favorite pair of Yves Saint Laurent sunglasses. That evening, the Trumps attended a dinner banquet at the scenic Biarritz Lighthouse. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump wore a technical pleated jersey dress by Gucci, that features crystal brooches at the waist. The cocktail dress retails for $3,800, at Neiman Marcus. For footwear, Mrs. Trump wore a pair of disco ball silver Christian Louboutin stiletto heels. For the following evening at the Biarritz Lighthouse, First Lady Melania Trump was ravishing in red. She wore an Alexander McQueen crepe cocktail dress, with cascading ripples down the side. The McQueen Rouge robe retails for $2,375. The First Lady matched the red dress with a pair of metallic red Christian Louboutin stilettos. As the location of the very first Chanel store, which opened in 1915, Biarritz, France is a place steeped in fashion history. In Biarritz, Melania Trump was clearly in her element, as she takes to haute couture like a fish takes to water. First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump was beautiful in blue, for the state visit of Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, and his wife Jennifer Morrison, to Washington, D.C. on September 20, 2019. Melania Trump welcomed the first couple of Australia to the USA, while wearing a baby blue crepe knit dress, that features billowing cocoon-like sleeves, a cinched belt, and V-neck cutout. The dress is by Scanlan Theodore, an Australian brand founded in Melbourne in 1987. Mrs. Trump paired the frock with iridescent snakeskin Christian Louboutin stiletto heels. That evening, Melania Trump changed into a glamorous turquoise ruffled gown, from the J. Mendel Spring 2019 ready-to-wear collection. For footwear, Mrs. Trump wore a pair of matching patent leather turquoise stilettos by Christian Louboutin. The gown's pleats and ruffles are cut with wave-like trims, while its high neckline and long sleeves are reminiscent of the baby doll-style dresses often worn by Elizabeth Taylor and Priscilla Presley in the early 1970s. The ensemble is timelessly elegant, and confirms once again that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. As part of her Be Best campaign, on October 4, 2019, First Lady Melania Trump visited the state of Wyoming, where she handed out goodie bags to school children, and attended the Arrowhead ceremony of the National Park Service. For the occasion, the First Lady's fashion choices were chic, yet practical for her rugged surroundings. Melania Trump wore a white cashmere turtleneck sweater, by the brand Joseph, with matching J-brand skinny jeans, and a pair of tortoise-shell Saint Laurent sunglasses. For footwear, Melania Trump wore a pair of suede ankle boots, by Christian Louboutin. Mrs. Trump kept herself warm, in the high-altitude location, with a puff-down jacket in army green, by Rag & Bone, which retailed for about $1,000. The look is timelessly stylish, and a perfect fit for the majestic mountainous setting. Photographs of Mrs. Trump posed in front of the Grand Teton mountain range could be ripped from the pages of American Vogue. This is yet another example of how First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For many, Halloween is a time to wear fanciful costumes, but for First Lady Melania Trump, the October holiday is an opportunity to showcase dazzling designer overcoats in fall colors. For Halloween 2018, Melania Trump wore a yellow plaid wool overcoat, by Italian fashion house, Bottega Veneta. The coat retails for $3,950. For footwear, the First Lady wore a pair of black suede stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. The overcoat's mod, boxy style, and sunshine yellow plaid, recall the coats worn by former First Lady, Jackie Kennedy Onassis. For the following Halloween, First Lady Melania Trump once again wore a trench coat with beautiful fall colors. This time, Mrs. Trump wore an off-the-runway, Michael Kors, leather trench coat from the Fall 2019 collection. The coat is cinched at the First Lady's waist with a matching leather belt tied in a knot. The statement belt and protruding collars give the coat a 1970s vibe. The leather patchwork is a collage of autumn earth tones, and is reminiscent of fall leaves on the ground. The coat retails for about $6,000. The First Lady paired the coat with Manolo Blahnik pointed stilettos, in black satin. The look is bold and confident, and would be ideal for any fall occasion. While many think of Halloween as a time for costumes, for Mrs. Trump, Halloween is the time of year when she makes bold fashion statements with retro-inspired overcoats in dazzling fall colors. Over and over again, we are confronted with evidence that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. As many of my recent videos have shown, the holiday season offers a bevy of occasions for First Lady Melania Trump to demonstrate her status as the top fashion icon of our time. Out of all the season's festivities, New Year's Eve is the event fashion watchers look forward to the most, because it is when the fashionable First Lady is at her very most glamorous. Melania Trump welcomed 2018 from the presidential New Year's Eve party in Mar-a-Lago, alongside President Trump and their son Barron Trump. The First Lady lit up the night in her glittering pink sequined emery party dress that features voluminous sleeves and floral embroidery, and is by British designer Erdem. Breitbart fashion reporter John Binder likened the 1980s-inspired frock to the sequined dresses that the late First Lady Nancy Reagan was known for. The pink glittering number that Melania Trump wore ensured no one at the New Year's Eve party would take their eyes off the radiant and beautiful First Lady. To usher in 2020, First Lady Melania Trump once again glittered and glowed in a glamorous sequined gown at the presidential New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago. Mrs. Trump rang in the new year and the new decade in an evening gown by Givenchy that is cut from black georgette silk. The gown features gold sequin embroidery that has been likened to the sparks of fireworks in the sky. For footwear, the First Lady donned a pair of black satin pointed stilettos by Manolo Blahnik. The ensemble is the ultimate in haute couture glamorous evening wear. New Year's Eve is when the First Lady's fashion choices are even more glamorous than usual. Her New Year's Eve ensembles confirm, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. First Lady Melania Trump glowed like an angel for her first Christmas in the White House. The 2017 theme of the White House Christmas decorations was titled, Time-Honored Traditions. On November 27, 2017, groups of school children visited the White House for the unveiling ceremony of the Christmas decorations that Melania Trump helped to design. The First Lady spent time interacting with the children and crafting with them throughout the tastefully decorated White House. The White House issued a press release on the 2017 Christmas decorations. Quote, "On the state floor of the White House, the Grand Foyer and Cross Hall celebrate the first themed White House Christmas, which was the Nutcracker Suite, in 1961. The Green Room honors the festivities of crafts, paper, and classic design. The Blue Room holds the official White House Christmas tree, which is decorated with glass ornaments depicting the seal of each state and territory. The Red Room hosts delightful holiday treats, and has been decorated with peppermints, candy, and cookies. The State Dining Room holds a traditional gingerbread house, which depicts the south facade of the White House, and features Mrs. Trump's signature Christmas wreaths." End quote. As Mrs. Trump floated from room to room, making Christmas decorations with the children, the kids were reported to have been in awe of the dazzling First Lady. One child exclaimed, "She seriously looks like an angel." For the occasion, the angelic First Lady wore a creamy white dress with bell sleeves and a low flared skirt, the silhouette of a tree topper, made by Dior. A thin gold belt cinched the Dior dress at Mrs. Trump's small waist. She matched the belt with a pair of gold stiletto pumps by Manolo Blahnik. The look is absolutely breathtaking. It is no wonder that the school children thought she looked like an angel. This is yet another example demonstrating that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. Throughout her time as First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump has consistently shown concern and dedication to the well-being of children, and her first Christmas in the White House was no exception. On December 7, 2017, First Lady Melania Trump continued with the more than 70-year-old tradition of First Ladies visiting Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. The tradition harks back to First Lady Bess Truman, when she was photographed visiting 3-year-old polio patient, Tommy Jimmerfield Jr., at the Children's National Hospital, in 1945. In keeping with the tradition, for her visit to the hospital, First Lady Melania Trump toured the Neuroscience Center, where she visited with patients and their families, and hospital staff. In the main atrium of the hospital, Mrs. Trump read one of her favorite Christmas books, The Polar Express, and answered questions from patients and staff. The First Lady remarked to the small crowd, quote, "The holidays are a time for hope, love, traditions, and family, and it is my wish for everyone to be able to celebrate them in good health with their loved ones. Many of the patients and families I visited with today cannot spend the holidays at home this year, so I ask everyone to keep them in their thoughts and prayers, as we hope for a speedy recovery and joyous new year." End quote. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump wore a winter white ensemble, ideal for the holidays. Draped across the First Lady's shoulders was a white wool overcoat, by Max Mara. She paired the coat with a cream-colored sweater, also by Max Mara. The sweater was tucked into a white leather high-waisted skirt, by Hervé Pierre, Melania Trump's personal couturier. For footwear, Mrs. Trump donned a pair of snakeskin stiletto pumps, by Manolo Blahnik. The all-white look is absolutely stunning, and is in keeping with the white angelic ensemble she wore for the unveiling ceremony of the 2017 White House Christmas decorations, which I discussed in my previous video, entitled Christmas Angel. Throughout the holidays, we are repeatedly provided with examples demonstrating that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. On Christmas Eve, one of the duties of the First Lady of the United States is to track the movements of Santa Claus, with assistance from NORAD. North American Aerospace Defense Command is the military command in charge of defending the airspace over North America. It has helped children track Santa as he makes his journey since 1958. Helping track Santa at NORAD are the men and women serving in the New York Air National Guard, from the 224th Air Defense Group, as well as a Canadian Forces detachment. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump spent Christmas in Florida, at their Mar-a-Lago resort. On Christmas Eve, NORAD command centers in the high Arctic send constant updates to the Trumps in Mar-a-Lago on the whereabouts of Santa Claus. The Trumps then pass on the most current geospatial data on the location of Santa to inquiring children on the telephone. For her first Christmas Eve as First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump was ravishing in red, in an elegant coat dress by Christian Dior. She paired the red number with Manolo Blahnik stiletto pumps that feature a bright red and green floral pattern. Her 2017 Christmas Eve ensemble was classy and elegant, while also simple and understated. For Christmas Eve 2020, First Lady Melania Trump continued with the tradition of taking telephone calls from children, inquiring about the location of Santa Claus. For the occasion, the First Lady wore an ensemble that is simple and elegant, and that projects an aura of warmth and approachability. Melania Trump donned a red tartan flannel shirt, by French fashion house, Balmain. The shirt features the label's iconic lion embossed gold buttons. The First Lady tucked the shirt into a high-waisted, red pencil skirt. She completed the look with a pair of black suede stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. The outfit combines down-home country style with haute couture elegance. Even when taking telephone calls where the caller cannot see her, her fashion choices demonstrate that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. For First Lady Melania Trump, the arrival of the official White House Christmas tree, in late November, is an opportunity to showcase holiday-inspired fashions for the upcoming Christmas season. On November 19, 2018, an almost 20-foot-long fir tree was delivered to the White House, in a horse-drawn carriage. President Trump and the First Lady emerged from the north portico of the White House, to receive the tree, which was grown in North Carolina. For the occasion, First Lady Melania Trump donned a double-breasted, red tartan cape, by Michael Kors. The red tartan cape is made in Italy, with virgin wool, and creates a warm festive look, ideal for the Christmas season. Under the cape, Mrs. Trump wore a black sweater, and black skinny jeans. For footwear, she wore a pair of black suede stiletto boots, by Christian Louboutin. The following year, First Lady Melania Trump once again stole the show, when receiving the White House Christmas tree. On November 25, 2019, a horse-drawn carriage pulled up to the White House, to drop off the official White House Christmas tree. The Pennsylvania-grown tree was received by President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, who was wearing a Dolce & Gabbana overcoat, with a rich floral print, featuring red and white roses and green leaves. The color scheme of the print, with its red and green accents, makes the coat an ideal choice for Christmas time. For First Lady Melania Trump, the annual arrival of the official White House Christmas tree is an opportunity to showcase high-fashion ensembles with print patterns and beautiful Christmas colors. There are many occasions throughout the holidays, in which we are provided with examples demonstrating that First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time. At the annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony in Washington, D.C., First Lady Melania Trump glows like an angel, in her charming and classy, Christmas-colored trench coats. For her first Christmas tree lighting ceremony as First Lady of the United States, which was held on November 30, 2017, Melania Trump donned a red tweed trench coat, by Chanel. The coat features a matching waist-cinching belt, and is from Karl Lagerfeld's 2017 pre-fall collection. The red coat was the perfect complement to the red poinsettias that decorated the stage. For the next year's Christmas tree lighting ceremony, which was held on November 29, 2018, Mrs. Trump was the Snow Queen, in a white alpaca wool trench coat, by Max Mara. The coat has oversized lapels, and a matching belt. Melania Trump paired the coat with a white turtleneck sweater, and white leather gloves, by Bottega Veneta. The winter white high-fashion ensemble is cozy and chic, and would be ideal for any Christmas occasion. In contrast with the monochromatic looks she wore in 2017 and 2018, for the 2019 Christmas tree lighting ceremony, which was held on the 5th of December, First Lady Melania Trump wore a double-breasted wool trench coat, with a red and white plaid pattern. The coat includes a matching waist cinching belt, and is by Gabriella Hearst. The coat's festive red and white plaid pattern has been likened to a candy cane, and is absolutely perfect for Christmas time. Mrs. Trump's dazzling Christmas-colored trench coats are so radiant that they almost outshine the Christmas tree at the White House's annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony. This is because First Lady Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas!
It was just last year, when fashion icon Melania Trump was the First Lady of the United States. With the Christmas season upon us once again, it's a good time to look back at First Lady Melania Trump's fashion choices last Christmas. The First Lady kicked off the Christmas season of 2020 by unveiling the White House Christmas display, which was patriotically titled, "America the Beautiful." Melania Trump pranced around the opulently decorated White House, while wearing a luxurious ensemble that shined as brightly as the Christmas ornaments. Mrs. Trump wore a high-waisted, black pencil skirt, and a metallic lame blouse, by Dries Van Noten, that retails for over $1,000. She matched the blouse with a thin gold belt, by Ralph Lauren. The ensemble is absolutely stunning, and the perfect complement to the White House Christmas decorations. In December 2020, Melania Trump carried on the Christmas tradition for the First Lady to visit the Children's National Hospital in Washington, D.C. As in previous years, the First Lady read a story to the hospitalized kids and their families. For the occasion, Mrs. Trump wore a rich green suede coat that features slanted pockets, a wide lapel, and a matching belt. The coat is by Diane von Furstenberg. Mrs. Trump paired the coat with dark green stilettos, by Manolo Blahnik. For the official White House Christmas photo of 2020, First Lady Melania Trump posed alongside President Trump in a sleek, Christian Dior tuxedo that projects strength and style. Mrs. Trump matched the satin tuxedo with black leather stilettos, by Christian Louboutin. The powerful look is the perfect complement to President Trump's classic bow tie tuxedo. For her final Christmas, as First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump's outfits were as classy and chic as they were since her first day in the White House. As was the case with previous holidays, throughout Christmas 2020, there were several occasions when we were shown that Melania Trump is truly the top fashion icon of our time.